Welcome back to Gnomoria. I'm Captain Goblin, and this is episode 4. We have 2 people with names now. You got Big Dog the Rancher and Angus the Miner. So far, that's the only people that wanted names, other than Pug, but he specifically requested a warrior, so gonna have to wait until summer for that. So, just getting back into the game here. We got apples growing, trees, the bandages are just getting done. For some reason they started focusing on moving these logs, even though the priority on the ore is set to 1. But there's not a whole lot of logs to go, so I'm gonna let them finish it, and then I'm thinking as we get closer to midnight, I'm gonna cut the stairs out. We got a bunch of the ore up here anyway, so it sucks a little bit that we're not gonna get all the ore up, but enough of it at least has gotten up. And I'm sure at some point they're gonna bring in the milk too, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. The milk here, it's close to the door, and they're probably gonna when the order for the ore, when I cut the stairs, that's gonna free up a lot of work. They'll start picking up these strawberries and the milk, and probably move these cotton inside, and just get to finishing what's left to do. I'm really worried that they stopped hauling ore right now because they started working on the stone now that the wood's done. I'm starting to think that maybe they don't have enough crates to put more ore in. Which would suck a whole lot. You know, like they've only been wasting this time because I didn't put enough crates down. I can see they're trying to get that crate built, but time's ticking away. I don't want to wait too long. This is the last day of spring, and those things spawn downstairs pretty quickly in summer. I mean, I saw them as soon as 4 a.m. once, so I don't want to risk it at all. Even for ore. Ore's pretty valuable, but I don't. I see it right there. It's done. It's ready to go, but it's too late. I'm just gonna get rid of it now. Really, no point to risking it. I'm gonna deconstruct the stairs. Nobody's down here. We got about half of it up. I remember it used to be all around here. It's unfortunate I didn't keep an eye on the stockpile, but I'll probably head back down again once we have the military, like maybe 2 guys in our armor. We could head back down here, because I cut the stairs off here at level 13, and the ore we want's on 12, so it's not a whole lot to defend, because they shouldn't spawn anywhere above 10. So if I put like the guard zone somewhere over here, the soldiers will hang out. Though they might be able to spawn on 11 and head up. So I might just guard here at 10. It'd be a lot safer, I assume. Alright, so we cut the stairs off. Kinda sucks. Lost some more, but ultimately saving lives. Again, we'll see what happens on 10. Things might spawn on 10. I'm not sure if it's below 10 or if 10's included. So it could get a little dangerous. But ultimately got everything I wanted to get accomplished done before summer. We got bandages, we got enough ore up. The walls are done. About to head on into the next season and begin the trial by fire. See if the Iron Citadel is strong enough to stand on its own. The next priority is just try to get this stuff done. See, I believe they did another patch that played around with this auto crafting stuff. I'm playing the game off Steam, and Steam doesn't keep track of the patches, so I'm probably gonna look on the forum later to see what specifically got changed. But we got enough food and drink. Big Dog's the rancher, so he'll occasionally come over here and keep everybody in drink, you know. I don't think we're going to have to worry about turning on the brewery just yet, at least. I'm sure everybody's working. Shouldn't be anybody idle. There's plenty of things to do. You know, this milk and strawberries have to be taken care of. Though, to be honest, I don't think I put a stockpile for drink yet. Mainly because I wasn't sure where I was going to put some of the food-related items before I started connecting them to the Great Hall. Because people will want to get their food and then bring it in here to eat. So, since this is the kitchen and brewery, it would make sense to put the stockpile here. So I'm going to designate, where is it? There we go. Designate the stockpile. I'm going to keep them small for now. You can, it's easy to make them larger. You're going to get food in here. I like to put stockpiles on 3 and workshops on 2, and then whatever I need done in a hurry, set to 1. And I'm going to build storage crates. And then I'm going to put another stockpile. Designate stockpile for the drinks. And this will be barrels. That's what goes into those. Build barrels, stockpile, storage, barrel. There we go. So we got crates and barrels. That'll give them some more gathering jobs to get done. I see the trees are starting to come in. That's going to keep the farmers busy on top of getting this done. It looks like they got all the are close to it. I still see some cotton seeds. You could see that's like these are the seed picture sprite for seeds. And when you see like cotton sitting on top of the seed, usually it's a cotton seed. Like there was wild cotton here, and they picked the cotton, and the seeds and the cotton are just laying there. So the farmers are going to come up here and deal with the cotton. Looks like they got no, they replanted both fields, so you can see the greenery in them. They just need a place to bring the strawberry and stuff. I'm not going to deal with the hay yet, or the what is it? Grain. The grain goes into breads, and you can make beer out of it. But again, everybody's got enough work to handle right now. Don't need to just just keep giving them more stuff to do. They got plenty to do right now. It's the first day of summer, 5 a.m. 4 nomads have arrived. It's right after dawn that they come. So we got 4 guys. That's good. I was hoping for 3, so 4 is just spectacular. It's more than I hoped for. Gonna go ahead and figure out. This is what you want to do. Every time you get some nomads, you want to go to the population button and then assign, and then you can click on them. They'll be set as nomads so that you can easily find them. Go ahead, click on them, check their skills. The first thing I look for is their combat skill. If they're competent at fighting, then that usually means they don't have anything else. If they have combat skills, they usually won't have very high anything else in the normal skills, task skills. So this guy, he's actually fairly good at a lot of things. Over 10 is pretty decent as like a jack of all trades, and he's got plenty of like over 10, around 16s, 12s, 13s. So this guy's pretty good, but he is an axeman. I'm not sure what weapons we got. That's not it. Here we go. We got a hammer, so he will not do very good with the hammer. So that's something to take into account. So he's a warrior, but we don't have his weapon. We might have another warrior that uses hammers. Now we got a second axeman. So it's good that we got 2 fighters. We just don't have 2 armor, and we don't have the weapons they want. You can go. The reason I like checking them from a sign is because you can go back. Like once you're done checking their skills, you can go back, get back to this menu quickly. And this one's a hammer. So 3 of the 4 have been warriors so far. Definitely would like another farmer. Nope. 4 of 4 fighters. That's interesting. I'm not sure what to make of that. I've never had just all warriors come before. Usually I end up with another builder, another miner, another woodcutter. Not like we need them. Mostly just another farmer or 2, just to take care of all of this work. I mean, 2 guys handling all of this is it's not going to be pretty. I think I'll task 2 of them, the axemen, sadly, because we don't have axes. We do have a hammer, so there's 2 hammer guys. But the axemen will be just temporary farmers. They're going to suck at it because they're not really farmers. So they're going to go really slow, but they'll build up skill at it. Not too worried about it. Gotta make a new profession. Gonna name it soldier. Well, I gotta click new here. Don't want to go altering miners. We got a soldier, and they don't do anything. You don't want your soldiers to do anything. Except for be a doctor, I guess. When they're off duty, they can do doctor-related things, medic and caretaking. I like having soldiers do doctor stuff, because if the squad's heavily wounded, I might as well just take them off the front lines. When they're a part of a squad, it's like considered their job. They don't actually deal with any of this. They're just they stay at the guard position, or they train, or they do whatever you tell them to do. Their military is the job. And that just means that they do whatever you tell them to do, instead of automatically like find things to haul or take care of wood cutting jobs. They keep themselves freed up to follow orders. But you could set them to like off time, and when they have off time, that's when this soldier profession comes into play. And when they're off, I only want them to take care of doctor-related things, because that's really the only reason I would imagine they'd be off duty. is if their squad is so horribly mangled that they can't perform their soldier duty anymore. And, you know, the unwounded members of the squad should take care of the wounded ones, which is why they're doctors. Sort of like medic soldiers. And now we're going to assign... This guy... I just assume Pug would like to be a male over a female. Pug will be... I think it updates when you go back into the menu. There it is. Pug will be our first soldier. Bina is going to be a soldier too. But I'm not going to put Bina in the squad yet, because I don't want Bina fighting Pug for the armor resources. Like, have Bina and Pug wearing half of the armor and one of them fighting for the hammer, and then both of them just suffering effectively for it. Neither one actually performing very well because they've split the resources among themselves. So we're going to military and gonna make a new squad. Just kind of randomize it. The candlelit years. Decent for a beginning one. And then we're looking for the soldier. Pug the soldier. He is in... this other stuff is just uniforms. You make a new uniform and then you could specify what it is, like leather or specific kinds of breastplates. Like you could go tin if you wanted. Right now, the basic one you have is plate mail, and it's just anything metal, just like pauldrons, breastplate, gauntlets, whatever it is, copper, bronze, tin, just the rainbow, put it on. Positions, again, the basic soldier is just plate mail. You want to pick a perk. I'm going to go with finish them, so if they fall down, you do extra damage. You could also change this stuff. Assist leader, if there's two people in there, it's sort of like focusing their damage. So you want to do that. Retrieve bleeding, so the bandages do their job. Don't want to do a maintain distance. That's more for ranged characters like your crossbows or blunderbusses. Pursue lost targets. I've never really seen them do it anyway, so I don't play with it. Formation, this is if you wanted to get creative and have like crossbowmen in your group, or if you wanted to mix up like specifics in the uniform, you could change their weapons. So if you wanted like 2 hammer guys and then 2 like claymore guys, you could do it here with the new formation. But this one's just the basic formation and the best defense. I'm going to use that. So Pug's the only soldier. It's actually in formation. If I set this to none, that means they'll go to their other jobs, which for soldiers is just doctor. So right now I want them in formation, and they'll be following orders and not worrying about anything else. And if they were wounded and I wanted them to take care of themselves, I would set it to none, and then they would go to being doctors. So that's how you set up the squad. And Pug and everybody spawn somewhere on the side of the map, and they should be trucking it here for the entrance. Here they come. I believe the armor and stuff probably got stored over there, or it's over here. I'm not sure. It got dumped somewhere. But there, you can tell that's Pug because he's wearing armor and he's got the hammer. And he's ready to go. So at this point, we're going to set a designation for the guard area. Guard area. There we go. Just drag it in here. This is the guard station, and we're going to put the candlelit years here, which is just Pug. So Pug will now spend his idle time here. I would like to pretty quickly get the training room ready. I mean, there is 4 soldiers that could be training there, but I'm not too worried about it yet. Tonight, I'm positive there's pretty much going to be a goblin attack. So I just want to focus on getting this stockpile of bandages done. Right now, there's no bandages there. It doesn't appear to be a priority for them. It's 8, so I suppose I'll let them mill about doing whatever they're doing right now. Collecting milk, probably start collecting strawberries, building these crates. That looks like what they're doing. It looks like they're busy building crates and then filling them with food. And around noon, I'll get them working on the bandages. If they don't get to that point already, it's sort of like on a to-do list. They wanna get this milk in the crates, and somewhere on that list is make bandages. I hope. It would be very sad if I forgot to set it. Loom. Butcher. Tailor. Okay. Yes, it does appear I forgot to set it. So that could be. It's probably the very reason. Go up to 20. And that's bags, isn't it? Wow. My mistake. Bandage. Craft 220. Alright. There we are. It's also a good idea to tell the loom to have bolts on hand. Sort of, it's the middleman product, but I just want them to get the bandages first. I'll worry about the efficiency later. I'm just worried about getting the bandages here in preparation for tonight. Everything seems to be running pretty smoothly. Don't want to forget that at some point we want to dig in here and get these rooms figured out. That's going to require a lot of cotton. We do have a large cotton field ready. As soon as we have enough farmers that this is consistently producing cotton, and there's not like a real backlog of work that needs to get done. Because I've had it at points where there's so much stuff that needs to be done that they come out here and they harvest the field, they harvest the field, and then they're down here making food, and they never get to replanting, and then we burn through all of this resources that we've harvested, and they never found time to go replant. So it can be a problem if you don't have enough farmers for all the tasks that need to be accomplished by them. And an important thing is to remember that these workshops eat up a farmer's time. Like if you need the brewery working, you don't have enough cows to produce the milk that everybody needs to drink, then this brewery becomes important. You're gonna need to produce the drink for them so that they don't go dehydrated. That's going to be one farmer out of the equation. Then there's one farmer to work on all of this, and one farmer stuck brewing. And if we can't provide our food means off of these apples and strawberries, then this kitchen comes into play, and that's another farmer. And if they're both going, then there's nothing being done planting wise. Nobody's replanting this, nobody's harvesting. They're both all their time's down here trying to keep your food and drink stocked. So I've had that happen before. I mean, I did realize what was going on in time to sort of bring people out of other sectors. Like I had 3 builders and 3 miners and 3 woodcutters, and I was like, well, we don't need that many people doing that. Might as well just have some unskilled labor in the fields. Just keep my good farmers working on here, because they will produce quicker with the skill. They'll make food quickly on these tables if they're actually farmers and have the skill. They'll do it quickly. Whereas the brand new farmers, like these guys, I think are probably the guys that just became farmers. They have really low skill in it. They're gonna take forever doing this. So I've seen a farmer in the mid-30s or 40s in skill plow through 5, 6 of these, while somebody with 8 or 9 skill in farming took to do one tile. So their efficiency is just so much more with the higher skill. They will gain skill at it, but it feels like they get experience for each job completed. So it takes like real beginners, like below 10 skill, a while to get to 10, and then they'll start producing more, and then therefore get more experience because they're more productive. So here's the first goblin. We have no bandages. Though they're working on it, I wonder what they're doing. Like, is they just leaving the bandages over here? Gotta be somewhere. I just want to make sure we got some bandages. Even if it's not in the crate, just somewhere, because he'll run to them. So we got 5 bandages. 5 bandages somewhere. I'm gonna make a new squad, and this will be the militia. We're gonna set the miners and woodcutters because they come with weapons. Their tools are sort of improvised weapons. And we'll put that other soldier in to round it out. Well, no, I don't want actually for her to be in this squad. Pug's already outfitted, so she can't steal his armor from him. So she can go ahead and join. Now what's gonna happen is Benina, or I think that's how her name's said, she's going to come over here because her squad is told to guard this area, so she'll immediately run over here. The other guys will take a second to figure out that they have just joined a military squad, and they're going to like stop whatever they were doing, like put down apples if they're carrying apples, or stop mining if they're mining, and then they're going to realize they're soldiers, and since they're set to assist defend gnomes, I believe they are. Let me check. No, they're not. Okay, so I set them in formations to defend gnomes, and what that's going to mean is that they're going to see there's a battle over here, and they're going to run over and help. Killed one goblin. We could check the combat over here with events, combat, and then the active group fight. And now this comes pretty much straight from Dwarf Fortress, if you've ever read the Dwarf Fortress battle logs and stuff. It's just this sort of, kicks the goblin, hitting the left leg, smashing the skin, smashing the muscle, and smashing the bone. It's a lot of adjectives explaining what's going on, but what you see is that the kick made it to the bone, so it's sort of damaging. If it stopped at the skin, that just means like you punch somebody and it stops at the skin, but this blow didn't stop at the skin, it stopped at the bone, so like the muscle and the skin in between have been damaged. That's sort of like how it is. Kind of, I'm imagining. But this looks like a throat punch maybe? Poking the skin, ribs, lung, okay. Brawlers and unarmed people will like punch throats to kill people, which is it more likely happens to your guys. Like the first couple waves of goblins don't really have any weapons, and if you do lose a guy from an instant kill, it's usually because the goblin punched your poor gnome in the throat, crushing his windpipe, and he dies. And it's sad when you see that happening. But this goblin appears to have taken a copper pickaxe to the left lung. So, he had a bad day. And I only saw the one guy run off bleeding. These guys are set to run if they're bleeding. So, I'm hoping they're not going to try to be heroes and fight to the death. I want them to run if they're bleeding. Get some bandages. You can also click. You want to click on the tile they're on. You can't like click a sprite. You got to click the tile, and you can check their health. This one is bleeding from the right leg. So like, if there was a way to sort of, and he's falling over. That's nice because I put the basic soldiers on finish him. If the goblin falls over, they do extra damage. That's why I like that specific perk. If you wanted to mix up your squads, you can have one squad do the perk that knocks them over, and then the other squad have the one that does damage when they are knocked over, and then they sort of complement each other. So this one's bleeding. If you could run away from this fight, if there was some way to sort of drag it out with fortifications, like get through some locked doors, like tell your guys to just run away and then have locked doors here and just buy time, this goblin will eventually bleed to death. There's no way to stop yourself from bleeding short of bandages, and they never bring any. So he's dead. It's just a matter of time. But the battle will continue. He's not dead. They're gonna beat him to death, even though he's as good as dead. He's got an injured body and a right foot. Not terrible. This bleeding is significant, but it's in the leg, and it depends on really how long he's been bleeding. So I'd say he's still fairly alright. He's not injured in enough places to be close to death. So they're just going to keep beating on him here. They got axes and stuff there. He's dead. Now, I'm hoping immediately after the battle like this, you want to set your militia back to work, because you don't want them fighting anymore. So now that you set it to none, they're going to go back to their other jobs. So they'll be mining and hauling and woodcutting and whatnot. I'm just more interested in them to getting back to bandage making, because that is... I could see him running up here to the tailor, so I'm gonna set this priority to 1. I want the bandages like immediately. See if she's still wounded. Good health. So I assume we had enough bandages. I'm just assuming here. I'm not sure. If I see anybody tracking blood around, that's not a good thing. I see him picking up apples, so I'm kind of watching this corridor here for any new blood. That one's... She seems to be moving a little slow, but she's okay. Probably just tired, about to go to bed. Fatigued. So they brought weapons, and apparently they brought a hammer, because she grabbed a hammer. All in all, that was a good fight. We only had 5 bandages. I definitely expected more. I believe I said it was like 7 or 8 was sort of my average, up to 15. It can get pretty bloody, but I only had about 5 bandages, and it seems to be enough. But survived the first fight. It was good. Nobody died. It appears all the wounds are taken care of. The next step at this point is just make sure to get the next wave of bandages done. You have about a day or two before the next goblin attack. It's sort of like every other night or every other night, somewhere within that time window. So you got some time to get more done. It's not every night you're being sieged. So now that this is taken care of, the next plan is to get this training hall done so that these two can just train, and they'll work on their skills, simultaneously having the workers start getting this metal production done. The bandages are important, but that's only the farmers. The farmers deal with that. The miners need to get busy over here. They handle the stone over here to get the metal production up and going, and then once it's up and going, one of the miners will have to play blacksmith and start making stuff, which will eat into the cotton. We have plenty of cotton, so I'm not worried about that. I think everything's going really smoothly at this point. It's just going good, and we have to just break up the big jobs into smaller ones, and eventually they'll get done. So I'm gonna end the episode here. Next episode, I'm gonna try to get this training room done and get this finished building, and hopefully start making some armor. Probably not get a set done, but at least get a blacksmith in a shop, and we'll be worrying about getting the cotton related stuff done, because armor's half of the problem. It's the bandages will have to share priority with the padding that goes into the armor, so that'll be a choke point a little bit for the armor production. They'll be sharing time with bandages. But, so that's it. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe. If you want a gnome named after you, just leave a comment below. See you in the next episode.